The following program contains disturbing materials that may not be suitable for some resellers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Nuclear reset is a relatively new term, and I think there's a lot of folks that may or may not know what it means. But I'm making this video to kind of tell you what it is and how you can make, in my opinion, pretty good use of it. Now, the term nuclear reset pertains to someone taking their entire eBay store, ending all the items, and then doing a sell similar. So the nuclear part is you're nuking your store. You're basically taking everything off of sale by ending the item, and then you're going in and you're doing a complete sell similar to basically reinstate or to treat those items as now new listings. And there's many reasons why one would do that type of thing, and it's not quite the same though as doing an end item sell similar where you're doing some of your store one day, other parts of your store the next, or maybe weekly or monthly. That's I think a way to maintain your store in a healthy way so that you do not have stale listings, because without the end item sell similar process, your items that continue to be reset monthly by eBay end up being stale listings after a few months, and eBay's algorithm does not treat those listings in a very good light. I'll just put it that way. It does hurt. The longer you have an item that's in that status where you haven't sold it for months on end, the algorithm tends not to promote it as much as it would if it was a new listing, and that's that's a fact. I think there is the new item boost, where a new listing boost, where you have a 12 to 24 hour period where the item is given a little bit more boost, and anytime that you can give your items more boost, the better. Now, why would one want to take their entire store and totally just end everything and then relist everything or sell similar on everything? And some will argue whether relist is better than sell similar, regardless if you're doing the nuclear option or not, or the nuclear reset or not. And really, to me, it doesn't all that much matter, to be honest with you. And I don't want to get into relist versus sell similar, but regardless of which option you choose, there are times where it is a good idea to consider a nuclear reset. And I'm one that can tell you from experience, I've dealt with a lot of things with eBay over the years. Anybody who watches my channel knows, and I've been very public about the things that have happened with me in eBay. You guys know that many times I've had to use this option to recover from problems that I've encountered with eBay. Now, one option you can use the nuclear reset for is if you're coming off of a suspension. Now, most of you guys will never be suspended on eBay. Now, I was suspended last year, I believe it was January, and that was due to a misunderstanding. I was given 3 Vero violations. 2 of them were incorrect, where eBay had reinstated an item, and then they came back and gave me a Vero when I relisted that item. And it should never have happened, and I was suspended for a day, and I finally found the right person to make my case that, hey, I was suspended and I shouldn't have been. And made a video on that. You guys can click that here somewhere if I remember to put it up for you. But that was one where even after the day, and they reinstated my account where I didn't have to wait the 3 days on the suspension, my sales were non-existent. It's like someone put me in timeout. So it really didn't matter if I was suspended or not. I wasn't getting any sales. And after a few hours of that, no offers, no sales, I decided to do an end item sell similar for my entire store, otherwise known as a nuclear reset. And wouldn't you know it, after doing that process, my items are back with a new listing tag on each one of them. My sales came back. And I would have been willing to bet if I didn't do anything, I probably would have sat there for a day or two, and maybe I would have received a sale here or there, but nowhere near the level. I mean, my sales came back. Now, another time that you could actually consider utilizing the nuclear reset, and this is something I did this weekend, I received 2 Vero violations, one on Friday evening and another one on Saturday morning. 2 unrelated Veros. Somehow somebody at eBay, if you guys have been watching my live, you'll kind of know the whole backstory behind it, but someone at eBay put me on some kind of a Vero watch list, and it flagged 2 of my listings within a 12-hour period, and my sales just died. Okay. I went in, did an end item, sell similar on my entire store. Now, it's not that big of a store. You guys know I only have a 200 some odd item store on my main store, but I did that. That's the nuclear reset. And guess what, guys? My sales came back Monday. Today, when I'm making this video, you're watching this Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when you see this. Monday, it's back to normal. And it's a lot to do with the fact that I did a nuclear reset. And it works, guys. Now, it's not something you probably want to do every day, even though there's some people who swear by it. Some people that will say, I don't like to promote, I don't want to promote, but if I utilize the nuclear option or the end item sell similar on everything in my store, and I do it every day, I'll get that 12 to 24 hour boost. And someone like Primo Chemo, he's shown a very significant uptick in traffic to his store by doing that and not promoting. So maybe there's something to it. I think it tells you the power of having the new item boost or the new listing boost on your items. So when you're creating new listings, right, you're adding inventory to your store, that item gets a boost in its first day of existence. And the nuclear option is no different. It certainly does serve a benefit. Now, this is up for a debate because there still really is no way to know the connection between receiving a negative or neutral feedback and how it affects your individual listings. Something I may try, heaven forbid, I don't want another negative feedback, but if I ever get one in the future, I may try the nuclear option to see if there's any impact, because I have noticed when I've received a negative or neutral feedback that my sales kind of fall off a little bit. Not to the level that they did with the Vero. I'm trying to get that removed. I'm currently being monitored for Vero on my account. But I would like to see what that impact is and if it helps. And my thought is that it is. It does help. And I don't know exactly how, getting off of a suspension, being on a Vero watch list, receiving a negative, I don't really quite understand how that relates to your sales and your traffic. But I suspect that there is a correlation there. It's just not something I can prove. Now, a lot of times I'll make videos and I'll just mention a subject for the sake of conversation, for the sake of thought, for the sake of just thinking about how things affect your account. And I guess this is one of those conversations. I can't point to policy. I can't point to terms of service. I can't point to anything that backs up what I'm saying right now. So take it with a grain of salt. This might be one of those moments where you think I'm just full of it, and that's fine too. But I like to think that sometimes it's good to have a thought-provoking conversation to get you to kind of think about how things affect your sales. And just like defects, there's a lot of folks out there with defects on their account, and unbeknownst to them, it's affecting their sales. And if they were to find a way to clear that up, they'd find that their volume, or their traffic at least, would certainly benefit from it. So on the subject of end item sell similar, or delist relist, some places call it, TreeCat, it is a company that we work with. It's a startup company. It's a cross-listing program that allows you to cross-list your items from eBay to Mercari to Poshmark. And if you sell an item on any of those sites, it removes it from Poshmark or eBay, Mercari, so you're not dealing with the double sale situation. In addition to that, they're doing something that has not yet been done. eBay hasn't even done it, where they're going to be coming out with a delist, relist tool that you can schedule. You could schedule a nuclear reset on your store to happen daily, every week, every 2 weeks, every 29 days before eBay does its thing, right, to recycle the listing, but it's still a stale listing. Once it comes out, I plan on using it to do it every 29 days so that I get my new item boost and still only use the one listing for that item. And I'll do that every month, but there is no way currently to schedule that process. It's something you have to go in and do manually, and it does take time out of your day. So the idea that TreeCat's coming out with this tool to allow you to automate that process for each listing in your store, I think it's a game changer. And if you guys want to check out TreeCat, currently it's free until they get the payment processor in place. And you can go over there and check out the different payment plans or the different options of the pricing options. But click on the link down below and get started while it's free, and at least get your items cross-listed and give it a try. Check out the software and see if that's something that can work for you. So the idea of the nuclear reset, it's not for everyone. I'm certain that many folks out there could benefit from using it, but just in case you weren't aware of the terminology, a nuclear reset is just that. You're wiping everything out in your store and you're resetting everything as if it were brand new. So hopefully that clears it up. But figuring out all this terminology and how it applies to your business, it's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day. We will talk to you very soon.